According to a report released by the WHO, pollution costs Europe 1.4 trillion euros in sickness and death every year. Air pollution in Spain cost a health cost of 50 billion euros in 2013. That's equivalent to 3.5% of that year's GDP. Madrid has well exceeded the air quality standards imposed by the member states of the European Union throughout the years. The limit, considered to be dangerous, is that of 200 micrograms of nitrogen dioxide per cubic meter. The truth is that most of this pollution has been caused by gas emissions coming from motor vehicles, primarily cars. There is a clear source of inefficiency coming from the car market that is feeding a deadweight loss to society. The Spanish car market was clearly dominated by three firms in 2016. These were the Volkswagen Group, the PSA Group, and the Renault Group. 1.14 million units were sold last year. Although these groups had the greatest market share, this does not imply that there aren't other competitors. In fact, there are several other relevant ones, giving place to an oligopoly. Until the levels of pollution went down, the adopted measures were the following: limiting the speed in the metropolitan accesses to the city and the M30 down to 70 km per hour, suspending all parking areas in the center of Madrid to non-residents, and only allowing access to car owners whose final plate number either ended with an even or an odd number depending on the day it was. Although the pollution levels did go down, this was only a short-term solution for the market failure. When the sanctions are removed again, the private benefits of consumers are greater than the social benefits of its consumption. So although the private benefit of consumers is high as they get to drive to work and get there fast, it affects negatively society as a whole due to the high dangers of pollution created by the cars. This is a clear example of a negative externality of consumption. We will analyze it with the following diagram. In a free market, consumers, as utility maximizers, will buy and drive cars where their marginal private benefit equals marginal social cost, the same as supply. They do not have to consider the cost of buying or driving their cars on the rest of the community through gas emission, related illnesses, and increase in public health care receipts. If social efficiency were occurring, the market would be in equilibrium at quantity level QSO, socially optimum quantity, as opposed to the greater quantity equilibrium. Instead, there is a welfare loss shown by the red triangle, since between the quantity equilibrium and the quantity of socially optimum, marginal social cost is greater than marginal social benefit, and the market is not at its optimal level. We observe a negative externality of consumption between marginal private benefit and marginal social benefit, indicated with the red arrow. To address this market failure, the government could place a tax on car prices in order to increase their price, which will pull down the quantity sold and consumed. This is shown by the dotted blue line, which corresponds to a return to the socially optimum level of output, QSO, and a higher price plus tax. The government could then use this tax revenue to subsidize public transportation as well as other efficient transport methods. I personally think that this tax revenue should be used in covering a particular positive externality of consumption found in the BCMAT service of Madrid. This diagram exposes the positive externality generated to the government by the use of bicycles. When the market fails to allocate resources, merit goods could go underprovided as it's currently happening in Madrid. In this particular case, the social benefit of using bicycles as a transport method is higher than the marginal private benefit. As it can be seen in the diagram, the marginal social benefit, labeled MSB, lies above the marginal private benefit, labeled MPB. In a free market, people will consume at price PPB in QBP. There is a potential welfare gain shown by the shaded area, because it would be more desirable for the society to consume QSB rather than QPB. If the use of bicycles increases from QPV to QSV, the welfare in society will increase by reducing gas emissions and breathing healthier air. Therefore, if the City Hall of Madrid wished to increase the use of bicycles that creates positive externalities of consumption, it should subsidize the firm in charge of the service. As it has been seen, the promotion of an activity with positive externalities will result in higher welfare levels. However, this will certainly also bring along costs, which can be seen in this diagram. With a subsidy, the supply will shift from S1 to S1 subsidy. The price will decrease from PO to P1 and the quantity increase from QE to Q1. The total cost of the subsidy to the government is P1 D to W seat.